My soul just left my body.
Week by week, Gozyuger is getting more and more interesting. With this episode, we finally get introduced to Tono's brother, which in last week's review, I have mistakenly thought that he's the little brother, but actually, I would stand correct. His older brother being Kon, which he's also known as Ring Hunter Garud, which has been busy not only being a CEO of an AI company, which I am very interested in how that's going to kind of play a part in his bigger role in the story, but also being the ring hunter, which he has been gathering some rings, aka we don't really have any ideas to do any of those suits that we're going to use in the meantime, if it's like summoned or even shown in flashbacks. But I am interested to kind of understand, okay, why the fuck he decided to do like AI? Is it just like an analogy of what's going to happen today, or like there's going to be more to it? Because I am interested specifically because he's being presented as the number one No Worlds trump card. And it is interesting because like he's known for the Tega Queen June, and like she's like, oh, how are you doing? You're my trump card, something. She did talk about she desires for not only rings, which obvious, that's the gimmick of the season, nice, but also her husband, which isn't implied to be Korn, it's implied to be somebody else. It can be, let's say, the Tega sword. They do like share the same last name if we go by Japanese standards of like you say somebody's last name first and then last, so both of their last name is Tega, so maybe she took his last name, which could be interesting. Like the amount of Rule 44 fucking shit that a bunch of weird horny people would draw would be interesting, but it is odd. I do love it, and it is super interesting that Fire Kendall knew nothing about him. Like the only other kind of members of the No One Worlds gang that knew about it is Knife Dude and the Cake Girl monster fusion, and it is weird that they knew. I am interested if Bouquet knew about Ring Hunter. It's like super interesting. It's like, okay, even within the bad guys, they're keeping secrets from each other, and it is interesting what this episode kind of tries to do with Kon kind of appearing in front of Tono for the first time, and how they're really trying to kind of like make Kon, Tono, and Fire Candle in this interesting triangle, because Kon kind of understand that Tono being, still his brother, he can someone coerce him to just join his side. He knows that his brother lost his parents, he was replaced. The same with Kon. Kon seemed that he took it, he understood that, oh, my parents don't get that, they don't love me anymore, they replaced me, so I just, take something else, and probably living in the No One Worlds for some time. Maybe he got to know some people and rose up to the top, and maybe this is how it would connect to him understanding AI. I can genuinely think that maybe the Queen is an AI that just went rogue, or better way, it gained consciousness, and because of that she's looking for a husband, and having Kon pretty much getting to having him pretty much having him do a show and tell, like, oh, look at how successful my company is, look at me, I'm so great, specifically showing to Tono how like great life he can have if they would work together, and knowing that Tono is vulnerable to it, understanding that he's damaged goods He even said that. He's damaged goods. He's someone without a real future. He doesn't fight for anything, so that will be easier for me to corrupt him, which he kind of does. And it is super interesting. So it's like, okay, that's a character that has deep issues. Kon is how much he was super successful and super like beloved probably by everybody. He also was lost with Tono, like, and sometimes it's a dog eats dog world, and he kind of understand that, okay, maybe I should be the bad guy to win. And I think he kind of see it for the same for his brother, and he's like, join me, it'll be better for you. Like, he pushes him way too hard. He literally tells him, you're damaged goods, you have nothing to really offer up to this world, but hey, if you join with me, you can actually do something. You have literal no dreams to fight for. You're not fighting for anything, which is very emphasized by the end of the episode. It's like, hey, like when he pretty much faced everybody and he had a little fight with Fire Kendall, and he pretty much like dropped down from the mech, and they were kind of ready to all fight Tono, and they're like, oh, I'm going to fight for my dream, I'm going to fight for my dream, there is no way I'm going to give up on my dream. It's very obvious this is what the show is really trying to kind of like say, hey, because of that, like, you're strong, but you're not as strong as him. Because of that, probably he doesn't have a weapon. Like, the idea that he doesn't fight for an actual reason, in exception to fighting, shows how much he lacks power, really. How much, like you could say in Kamari O's, they kind of like Eiji's lack of greed made him more powerful, which they can do that, which with like the big zero/circle motif of everything, I think would be more interesting. But Kon as a character alongside Tono, they work so well, and I'm so interested to see how kind of like their interaction would work off more and more, because like I don't know if it's going to be kind of like a Ruckus thing. Is it going to be like how, like, because the last 4 seasons of Sentai, we kind of had like a rival ranger. How much, like, for fuck's sake, Don Murasame was barely a rival. And it is interesting how this is going to work. Like, his design is very interesting, and it is kind of cool that he can summon the actual Red Rangers and not like Universe Warriors version of them. Those are actually the Rangers. You can see it from like the belts. So it is interesting. Okay, how does he do that? Like, how the June Tega sword can actually do that? How much it would have been cool to see just like a Red Ranger suit with that armor on. This armor is neat. I'm going to talk about it later. But Tono felt so interesting in this episode, like feeling really down, even like trying to get a job at the fucking cafe, and like Ryuga's like, no, you're no good, and having this moment kind of parallels really well to pretty much give Kon the opportunity to really push him to the point of like, hey, try to join with me, is really interesting. And it seems that I think Akito Inoue found her Taro and Tsunoi, because their rivalries, I don't know if it's going to be on the level of like, oh, they're in love, but it's going to be those two are kind of like bond in combat. Both of them would just need to dance until one of them falls over and dies. And it's cool because like the moment when like Fire Kendall and Tono got to fight in the mechs, and it really appeared that something that Kon said to him really set Tono off, and he was not himself. And the only person that really got to see it was Fire Kendall. Fire Kendall was ready to kill him. He's like, oh, that ain't you. That's not fair. That's not a fair fight. That's interesting, and it shows how much just in fighting Tono, Fire Kendall kind of gets him. Both of them are loose spirits that just needs a little time off the leash, and it's great. I do really fucking like love what this story kind of works for both Tono and Fire Kendall, and having literally Tono in the end of the episode just drop out of the fight, how much it's super obvious, not only with the scans, but also with next week's preview, that this is not Tono's last fight, but also it's very obvious from like episode 3 or 4 when Kinji drop out of his part of the fight didn't really work. So it's a contract that is bound by death, or at least defeat. So you can't really do that, but he drops off. And it's cool. It really is interesting. It really is going to be kind of like to see how kind of Tono returns to the fight and wouldn't imply an actual desire to fight. While also like everything kind of around this episode was fine. I really liked everything about it, specifically like having Kinji kind of like drop this kind of really great line about like, hey, how much we're meant to fight each other in the end of the day doesn't matter. Let's just make the best memories that we can have right now, which is like shows how much like Kinji as this character is super fucking neat. And like I am like super interested to see how much like he's kind of like maybe feeling slightly homesick is going to be, because like he's very much like, hey, he doesn't really want to fight Tono. He's the only one that said, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this. It's small character moments that I really liked. Like, yeah, how much this wasn't really a brand new arc. This episode was like a great start, or at least a great kickoff to the second part of the first arc of the show. It was genuinely interesting, like getting more about Tono, and about his brother, like having him be the ring hunter, having the ring hunter kind of works behind the scene for quite a while, having Kon try to manipulate Tono to side with him. Like everything feels like, okay, this is properly built up, and everything kind of feels like there's going to be a big blow off at some point. And I am super interested to see is like, okay, why Kon is working alongside the number one known world, how he got to the rank of literally the the Tega Queen June, like talking to him, because that's the first time she talked. Who the hell is her husband? Why the fuck Kon is in president of an AI company? What the fuck happened to that person that he, I don't know, projected the next to? And like, what's Kon's like true deal? What is he really fighting for? Like, that's really interesting. So yeah, like this episode was fucking fantastic in my opinion. This episode gets an A+. Let's actually talk about that Ring Hunter Garud suit. It's really fucking neat looking. I really like the overall black, silver, and red like color scheme. I love the like blank rings around his body. Like the gun thing is neat. I like the X motif, which is interesting. There isn't a bunch of circles around him. It's purely an X, which seems to be that maybe Ring Hunter Garud isn't really fully aligned with the number one no world. It is interesting, and there is something about like his helmet and like the eye here, the eye specifically, like his left eye seems to be like exposing something. There is this idea of like, oh, maybe he's the sixth, which could be cool. Like as a gimmick, this is kind of like his armor and he breaks off, he casts off. Would be cool. Like I really like the big fucking gun. I don't know, the big gun just looks neat. So yeah, what you thought about number one Sentai Gozyuger's episode number 7? Comment below, let me know. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please, if you like the video, please smash that like button. If you like the video, please smash that like button. Also, if you haven't watched my Kamen Rider Saber video, please watch it. It's a brand new series. It's not literally telling you that Saber was trash. This is the name of the series. While also, if you haven't helped your subscribe button, please, to achieve its true goal of becoming a subscribe it button, please smash that subscribe button. Don't forget, you're the only one that can prevent forest fires. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.